Hey everyone, Said here. So today what we're going to be doing is installing openMRS on the Microsoft Azure cloud platform. To get started, just make sure you have an account and go to the Azure portal. And from here what we can do is create a new virtual machine. And to do that we can just go to the Compute tab and choose the type of virtual machine we want. Personally, I'm very familiar with Windows Server 2012, so I'm just going to select that one and start to configure its settings. So right now it's going to ask you the type of deployment model that you want. This doesn't really matter, but I'm going to choose Classic just to make it a bit more simpler. And now you can just create your virtual machine. Now it's going to ask you some basic information about how your machine is going to be set up. So here I'm going to put the username that I use to log in and the password. Since this is a server, it has a certain requirement for the password, so mine is going to be very long, and you have to make sure that you follow these settings. Subscription is the payment method for this, and resource group is just the type of resources you're going to allocate for your server. So once that's done, it's going to ask you what type of resources you need for your server. Since I'm only running openMRS, it's not going to be very resource heavy and I can use the basic model. Now it's going to ask for storage settings. You don't really need to change anything on here, but if you want you can. I'm going to leave it as default and I'm going to continue. And now it's going to give a quick summary of the changes that we made. And now what's going to happen is it's going to be deploying Windows Server 2012. This is going to take some time. You can wait on this screen. Once it's done, it's just going to show you this overview. And before we get started on installing, we need to add some roles so that we can remote desktop into this server. So first, just add an owner role and add the user for your account. And you'll see it pop up here at the bottom. So once that's done, we can actually connect. Make sure that you have an RDP client, otherwise you won't be able to get into your server. So now to RDP, you need to have the same user and password that you entered earlier. So I'm just going to enter that. Alright, so just some housekeeping. I'm going to open up Server Manager and go to the Local Server tab, and in here I'm going to go into the IE Enhanced Security configuration. I'm just going to turn this off because by default Internet Explorer on Windows Server 2012 doesn't allow for downloading files and a bunch of other things. So it's best to just turn it off right out the gate. So first things first, I need to install JDK, and I also need to get openMRS. So this is a basic installation. I'll just go through this really quickly. Alright, so by now you probably have Java and openMRS already on your computer. You can just run the openMRS standalone, and you can just do open with and use Java. And you can see how this is the same type of installation that would happen if you were doing it on a local machine, except this is just on a remote machine. So it's just going to take some time as usual, so I'll just speed through this. Alright, so just like that, you have openMRS running. You can install the UI modules. Everything is just set up for you, and that's just about it. So until next time, see you later.